Hello and welcome to another episode of What Travis Says. My name is Travis and let's talk about China. More specifically, let's talk about China's supposed ban on time travel. So after posting my video last week about BBC Worldwide's deal with China about Doctor Who, there was an unexpected conversation in the comments. For the first few days, nearly half of the comments on that video were from commenters who were a little confused because they believed that China had banned time travel. Not real time travel, obviously, but time travel when it comes to television and movies. Censorship in other countries isn't anything new, and China isn't the biggest advocate for free speech. But this topic came as a surprise to me because I took the BBC Worldwide deal at face value. They make a deal with China to extend the Doctor Who fanbase in China. There's already a huge Doctor Who fanbase in China. Doctor Who involves time travel. It doesn't seem like China is banning time travel. But so many people commented on the fact that China banned time travel, so I decided to look into it myself. And as it turns out, there was a confusing decision made back in 2011 by China's media authorities. They said that the sci-fi notion of time travel disrespects history. The state monitors everything on your television, on your internet, and the Chinese government doesn't like the idea of distorting certain historical events. The decision by media authorities stated, producers and writers are treating the serious history in a frivolous way, which should by no means be encouraged anymore. And a large consensus believes that if people are romanticizing time travel, they might not be happy with the current state of affairs, which is not good for Chinese morale. In 2012, there was a news story of two Chinese schoolgirls who committed suicide hoping to time travel into the past. But after doing some digging, I found out that there's some question on the validity of the time travel angle of the situation. Some journalists believe that it was just planted by the Chinese government to try to give time travel a negative connotation. But if time travel media is banned in China, how can Doctor Who have such a huge fan base in China? How did Looper become a $20 million hit over there? X-Men Days of Future Past involves time travel and it made $40 million in China just in its opening weekend. Men in Black 3 had a $21 million opening weekend in China. The fact of the matter is that there's no clear rule on banning time travel in China in movies and television. And it seems like the idea of a harsh word like ban might have been a mistranslation or a slight assumption. The true purpose of the 2011 ruling was to discourage the misrepresentation of historical figures in film and television. I mean, let's be honest, it's not surprising that a country that won't allow free speech doesn't want you to say whatever you want to about historical figures. I wonder if Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is banned in China. But really, any movie can be banned in China if it goes past the line of censorship. Did you know that the original Star Wars trilogy was first screened in China 2 years ago, nearly 4 decades late? Yep, the country of China wasn't allowing foreign imports then, but funny enough, they were able to screen the prequel trilogy in theaters when they came out. So Chinese moviegoers saw 1, 2, 3 when they came out, and then many years later watched 4, 5, and 6, which is unfortunate for so many reasons. But it's also ironic that Star Wars premiered at Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood back in 1977. But anyway, my point is that the ban on time travel is more dependent on the story and the situation than it is on time travel itself. For example, if you have a movie where the titular character goes back in time to kill Mao before he leads the Communist Party to victory, that will most certainly be banned in China. But there's plenty of time travel media in China produced by people in China. Remember last week when I said this? Maybe a futuristic China, a la Future X Cops? Maybe like 2 of you know what I'm talking about, but that even involves time travel. Future X Cops is a real thing. It's a Chinese film that's very loosely based on the Terminator. Iceman, One Day, Time Album, Once Upon a Chinese Classic. These are all Chinese time travel films made in the last 7 years. But like I said, it seems to depend on the story and not so much the entirety of time travel being banned. So Doctor Who sort of fits that mold. Say all you want about the Doctor messing with time, but it's rare that he interacts with an important historical figure, and even then, odds are, things won't divert from history. Take, for example, the unfortunate but reasonable ending to Vincent and the Doctor. That episode is arguably the Doctor's biggest influence on an important historical figure, and yet, history finds a way. Last week I wasn't expecting to do a video on China's policy on time travel, yet here we are. This episode is just another example of me reading through the comments and finding a conversation that I really was not expecting to find, but learning a whole bunch. That's why I love having conversations with you guys down in the comments below. Even though I don't respond to every comment, I still read them all, and sometimes, like this video, it helps spur the future of this channel. As always, my name is Travis. Thank you for listening to what I have to say, and you will see me on Monday. Bye.